Kiss. I'm kissing you to death, Jessup. David, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. This was awesome.
Oh, it was horrible, but we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Next, we have Will. I'm not going to stop until I fucked you to death, Sanamo. Will, how are you?
I'm good. That sounds like me.
Finally, we got Joey. Sorry, boys. This slut's all mine. Johnson. Joey, how are you?
How'd you know my high school nickname?
I
I'm great.
absolutely. I checked the yearbook.
That's
Yes, guys, we watched The Sadness, made in 2021, running time 99 minutes. Synopsis: a young couple trying to reunite amid a city ravaged by a plague that turns its victims into deranged, bloodthirsty sadists. God, I wish I could talk. Let's watch the trailer. All right, here we go.
That'd be what, 5 seconds long?
Nope, it's a red band. So we get 10 seconds.
It looks like Professor X.
I saw his cock. That kind of fits the mood of it. Let's get into it. Greatest villain of all time, perhaps.
Yeah, I really related with him.
No.
What is wrong with people these days? Got to read it for the audio. Nice, Joey. Very nice. Pachow! Slam.
The anime style blood.
It was crazy. The amount of
looks
gore
like
in this
barbecue
movie
sauce.
never ends. I think that's enough for the trailer before we give away any of the good clips at the end. I think it will. Let's talk about history with the movie. Will, let's start with you because you recommended this bad boy. What's your history with it?
I heard about it. I watched it. I told you to. Yeah, dude. Like, I kept. We all follow a lot of forums. Well, some of us follow a lot of forums, and this one kept coming up, and it wasn't out, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And then finally, Shudder was like, "Hey, we're gonna throw it on here," but I ended up totally watching it legally. And yeah, dude, like I was not expecting what I got, and it is so solid and so great and just over the top and makes you uncomfortable, and that's good. Like for me, I want a movie, like when I want a scary movie, I want to feel a little uncomfortable. I want to be kind of, ugh, and that's exactly what this does. So then, yeah, I immediately thought of you guys. I was like, oh, these guys are going to watch it, except Miles, who's going to hate it.
Yeah, because he hates to read for some reason.
Because he doesn't want to read anything. Yeah.
Don't understand it.
Recording in
I had
progress.
to do that real quick. But I got it, don't worry. Joey, you said you got history. You've seen it twice now. How did you see it the first time? How'd you come upon it?
I just got a couple months ago, really probation. I just got a Shutter account. I was like, well, I can't do drugs anymore, so I got to feel something. So I got a Shutter account, and again, like Will, it kept popping up online. All my horror buddies told me about it. I remember someone telling me they're like, I'll never look at an eyeball, and we'll get to that, I'm sure, the same way again. And I just rewatched it again today, and I actually have it playing in the background. So now it's the third time.
Oh, damn.
So I guess I can't get enough, but I don't know, man. I'm a sucker for, the gore. I'm a sucker for all that shit. So I was told, especially like foreign films, with the way they go over the top with it, like Asian gore, dude, they always go off on it. So I don't know. It's like kind of has a modern day Cannibal Holocaust feel in that regard.
Yeah,
just some of the. I like to feel uncomfortable. I don't like myself enough to be watching feel good movies. So this was yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not something you watch every Easter, or perhaps you do if you want to. Here comes Raph. Cool. And Miles will be on in some minute. His thing always does this. David, have you seen this before?
I haven't, man, but once I heard Will and Joey recommend it, I was like, those are probably two of the most damaged people I know. for them to give it like, guys, and then of course I went to the source of everything on the internet, Reddit, and I was like, what's the goriest movie ever? And Reddit was like, it's The Sadness, so don't even try to argue. So once Reddit said it was the goriest movie ever, I was like, I got my jerkin pants on.
Oh shit!
And I just started watching it, and yeah, I mean, so did you guys? How many classic horror movie references are in here? I got I got The Fly with the throwing up in the leg, Scanners, the head blowing up, Day of the Dead with the guy being torn apart, and then Irreversible with the what do you call it? The fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Like, did I miss
Oh,
anything
yeah.
else? Did I miss
The
anything
Shining,
else?
dude. It's so
Oh,
on the
yeah,
head with The
Shining.
Shining.
Yeah, The
Possibly
Shining.
Terminator with the way he slowly melodically chases her. He doesn't really run after her.
Possibly Hostel with an Asian girl losing an eyeball.
Oh yeah, yep. There's that one.
That was
Yeah.
That was
I loved it though. Hey, what is this? Is it Korean? Is it Chinese?
It's
What is it?
Taiwan.
It's,
Taiwanese.
I thought it was Cantonese, Taiwanese.
It's and you know what? Hands down to the actors, they're fantastic.
Oh yeah.
The acting in this is top notch. The look of it is great, and one of the things I think a lot of times gets overlooked in movies like this because it's so over the top. The score was
Yes. Yeah.
phenomenal. Sound design was phenomenal. It was amazing. It was it was definitely like The Crazies, but like Spinal Tap 211.
Yeah, it was awesome. Let me do some
I
more
loved it, loved it.
introductions real quick. We got Raph. By the time I finished, she was begging me to keep going. Ramirez, Raph, how are you, sir?
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Excellent. And finally, we got Miles. You were just like me, violent and depraved Francis. Miles, how are you, sir?
Dude, I've got new opinions after Will's suggestion this
Well, let me throw away that thing I had set up there. I'll slide that off the table.
Miles or Raph, do you guys have history with the movie at all?
I watched it 2 weeks ago on an acid trip when I was on my come down.
What is wrong with
Thank
you?
God you were on your come down.
I thought I hated myself. Good God.
How was it on the come down? Was it
Honestly incredible, dude. Like I this movie is like the worst fucking movie in the sense that I would put it on the level of like Serbian film and like the the Human Centipede sequels in terms of just like the depravity of it, but the fact that it still like has such like a solid like emotional like message, a political message, like a social statement, like this is like the intelligent version of like an edgy joke. This is Joey Johnson's abortion joke in a horror movie.
Just as much blood too.
I'm curious. I've lost my train of thought. Anyhow, let's get into talking to the movie. Guys, you can't ignore the political ramifications.
You
of
skipped
this movie.
Raph. You skipped Raph.
Oh, Raph, did you have history with it? I'm sorry.
Oh no, definitely not. It sucks that you guys already said where it was made, because my first thing I was gonna say was we definitely need to get troops to North Korea. This shit was intense. But you said it was from Taiwan?
Taiwan,
Or where?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Taiwan.
Yeah, so again, great actors. Didn't expect any of this. It was phenomenal, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, I
No
think
hit.
everyone's going to get behind this movie. So the way it kind of begins, and it's kind of in the state we're in right now, if you still consider COVID going, and you can't ignore the political stuff that's going on in this movie.
Fake news.
Fake news, absolutely. Everything's on the head. But the biggest thing that I took away from it is it's how people feel about other people when they didn't wear their mask at first. A lot of people got really upset about that. And it was like, how kind of you view those people, like, how dare they're going to hurt me, and then just to an extreme perspective, which I thought was
Well, it's
really
funny
cool.
the one person wearing a mask on the subway gets stabbed in the eye with an umbrella.
Yeah.
I like that scene towards the end when the boyfriend shows up at the hospital finally and he pulls his motorcycle up and it's just nothing but masks thrown all over the streets.
Yeah,
Like,
that was really
I kind
cool.
of felt like that was like kind of little, because that was definitely a COVID thing too, where we just
Yeah.
like everyone wear a mask, but then we just had them like littering the streets and the beaches and all the places.
And the turtles started wearing them, and it was really fucked up. Yeah, no, the movie is great. The way they just start it within the first 10 minutes, it's very calm. It's just a couple. I don't think it ever states whether they're married or they're dating or what's going on. But you can
But
tell.
it's not gonna last though.
Why is that?
That relationship, because he's already making excuses. He's already saying, I'm not gonna make it to the
Yeah.
camping trip next week.
Yeah.
Well,
Already-
that's the whole moral of the story is if you make plans with a woman and then cancel them, she's gonna lock you in a rape dungeon.
And then escape in a helicopter. Yeah, totally.
She didn't. Yeah.
She didn't get out. She didn't get out.
She does, right? Okay,
No,
yeah.
no, she didn't get out. There's no way. I do like that ending. We'll get into talking about that here shortly. But yeah, it begins with the kind of like very slow, like mundane, everyday thing. And like you said, they're making plans for the future. They're breaking their plans for the future. There is a future. You know, that's the big thing is they got plans a week out, so stuff's gonna happen. Then we get to seeing the old lady. Something's wrong. We see the neighbor. You know those clippers are gonna come. Those hedge trimmers are coming into play. Like it's
foreshadowing.
Yeah. And then, yeah, God bless you.
Sorry.
And then what was really cool is that first lady, whenever she comes into the diner and she fries that guy's face with the grease, I was like, fuck, I don't know if I can watch this full screen.
Is that not the old lady? The one
Yeah,
that
it was the
died?
same old lady.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
lady.
okay.
He's such a handsome boy, though, Ducky.
I know. Well, when the violence kicked off, finally, it goes full force. It is.
The fucking fryer.
Yeah, it just happens like it's nuts. And so, was there a favorite like point of gore for anyone other than the eye? Because everyone's probably going to say the eye.
Oh, the scanners.
Yeah.
Scanners.
The grenade in the
Yeah,
Yeah.
scanners.
Grenade
I
in the
love
mouth
that.
is the.
Yep.
I will say the first shot they show of that old lady is her like decrepit feet. And like
Yeah.
that's if this restaurant had just everyone would be okay as this restaurant applied a no shoes, no shirt, no service rule.
policy.
She wouldn't have been allowed there in the first place. Everyone would have been good.
I was curious to if any of these deaths followed the 7 deadly sins, and some of them I thought did, but I wasn't really sure. Did you guys get that at all from the
What
movie?
do you mean, Duck?
Well, I'm trying to think of a good example now. My mind's racing. Just
Well,
like
there's definitely
like
lust.
lust is 100% in there, and then you've
I
got
mean, they eat people, so I guess that could theoretically be the eating one that's slipping my mind.
Gluttony.
gluttony.
Yeah, gluttony,
I
thank
mean,
you.
the big girl's eating people, and then she turns around and she says she got friends. She's envious, so she's envious of the other girl because I don't know if she is or not. I'm just saying that. But I'm just saying I was seeing that, and there was a death scene that was so extreme they kept out of the movie. Did you guys hear about this?
No.
It was going to be a brain surgery, and one of the zombies comes in and poops on the brain and then eats it.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were like,
Look at
they were
Will.
like-
Did you write that?
2 zombies, 1 cup. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
what I was going to say about the ending.
Shit for
that
brains.
oh, nice.
Hmm.
What I like about the ending is you don't know. It's ambiguous to whether she got the virus or whether she just went mentally insane. What do you guys think? Mentally insane or she got it? Because I was confused by that.
I had to imagine her escaping because I could not imagine this movie ending with her dying. She
Because
had
then
to
that's
live it.
sad.
It just would have been too depressing. Like that. What was that underwater movie, Will? I really liked a lot. That
Deep
you
House?
recommend.
Deep House.
Yeah, Deep House. I hated that they died at the end.
Oh,
Mm.
spoilers!
Just one. Oh,
I
sorry.
I didn't know you guys
Sorry.
already did that one. I was gonna make that my next recommendation.
We haven't
Oh,
done it
we
yet,
didn't
but
do- we haven't
know-
done it yet.
Oh, hey.
Yeah,
cool.
But it's one of those. It's that thing where it's like you go through this torturous experience with these people. Someone has to live. Somebody.
Well, she
has to
gets
live.
it. The
And that's
main
bummed
girl
out.
gets like a triple on that because like you have that moment where she finally bashes that dude's head in, and then she gets like saved by the doctor, and then you're like, oh fuck, now this guy's gonna
This guy's a freak.
and he goes back and forth for a while before you even find out he's killing babies and shit. And then you get the moment with her boyfriend where you're like, oh, finally, she's gonna make it, and then of course he's turned. So
He wants to cut her
kind of
shit.
with I'm kind of with David on that one where it's like, yeah, she's got to get that. The third one's the charm, right? Like she got on the helicopter and she's living happily ever after somewhere.
It's
You mean
too
you mean
much.
the movie where a baby strangled in a trash can doesn't end happy?
It's too
It's
much.
crazy.
I need some kind of happiness at the
So
end.
you
And that-
didn't hear the gunshots as she got killed?
I heard it,
She
Ducky,
did,
but I
yeah.
refused.
You think
to
she
acknowledge
dodged
it.
them like Neo?
Oh,
Yes, I believe that what happened was at the end she developed superpowers and was able to shield herself.
From-
That's what I'm
from
going
the
with
virus.
until I die. Yeah, from the virus.
He's the first X-Man.
The X-person will.
X then.
When the scene where the boyfriend's talking to her all sweet, and then he just goes right into like cutting her tits off.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yes.
That's hard, man.
Yeah.
That is so fucking hard.
It's paced
But that
so
goes
well.
back to the acting that you were talking about.
yeah, the acting is so good.
Yeah, they're killing it because I don't understand. The film was made within 31 days. It was made in a month, and it
Oh,
was
wow.
made. Everything was practical effects. There's really no CGI in it. So I think that's one thing that kind of makes it more realistic feeling, and it's not cheesy practical effects. Like it's just gory as
It's
fuck.
good.
Except for that,
It's good.
some of the blood sprays are just outrageous. But yeah, I mean,
That was one of my favorite. The subway blood splatter
Yeah.
when he
Like,
hits that artery. That's
The
so
cartoonish.
realistic.
It was
I-
like Kill. It was very Kill Bill,
Kill
but
Bill.
like
That was
in a
definitely
good
Kill
way.
Bill.
My whole question about the subway is I counted like it's like 5 stabbings, like 3 people bit, a couple rapes. Like, when is the next stop? How long is this? How long is this subway ride?
I just imagine someone from New York watching it and being like, "That's a Tuesday."
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what like. Exactly. Like in Taiwan, this is horror. In America, it's like if you saw this on CNN, you wouldn't be like zombie. You'd be like American.
Yeah, America.
Well, even
subway stabbing.
it does
Freedom.
the thing that was done in the New Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where people were filming.
Oh, I know. That was
Yeah.
so cool.
And people, we feel like for some reason our phones are a protected barrier between reality and what's going on. Like when you film
Well, also what it is, Duck, is everyone's clout chasing. Everyone is looking at that being like, oh man, I'm going to go viral with this.
Yeah.
I will say on that note, especially going with what you just said about it being like the cultural difference, I 100% think that whoever wrote this movie was looking at like America during COVID, and that was their prime inspiration for the entire film. They're like, what if this would have gone as south as some thought they would have predicted? So I know Ducky doesn't want this thing to get too political, but this definitely felt like when you're on Reddit and you see other countries just mocking us about how much of like reality TV we are for them.
Well, go ahead. The first YouTube thing is basically when he turns on YouTube, it's Alex Jones. It's Asian Alex Jones.
It's Asian Alex Jones.
You won't let his guests talk. He's selling like weird dick pills and like
he talks about elections coming up and all that shit. You know. Yeah. I do think it'd be very funny if during the president's scene, before instead of like blowing him up, had he just promised stimulus checks amongst the chaos.
That would have made sense. I mean, it literally is. The president says nothing when the guy's just like, "What the fuck? Why?" And he's like, "Did you vote for him?" And the fight begins. I was like, "Oh shit, here we go." But at the end of the day, the moral of the story is they're all idiots anyhow, and chaos is chaos, and it's going to get you in the end. So
Joey, your point about the Alex Jones thing is interesting too, because in that scene, I just realized he like scanned over several like quote unquote mainstream news sources and then went to a YouTube video of that's another very American thing of us to get our news through like Twitter.
Do your own research.
Right. Yeah.
How about the old man? Oh my God. He is a villain to go down in history.
Terminator.
Wow. Terminator style chasing her, just slowly, just coming after her. Oh my God. And
he's gross.
Yeah, he's disgusting. And the umbrella, I want the action figure. I want the toy because it's so wrong. It's just so cool. Like he makes a
penguin.
He makes a cool silhouette though. It's very like.
If that comes out from NECA, what are all the accessories going to be? Definitely the girl with one eyeball's head.
Oh God.
Accessory pack. That's accessory pack.
That's the scene, right? That's the scene you take away from this movie is eye fucking, right? Is that what everyone thinks when they think about?
There's a lot to take away from this.
Yeah,
movie.
there was so much.
Honestly, dude, I might say that the scene on the like basketball court or whatever it was, where like the group of guys, I think that might be more brutal than the eyeball fucking scene in some ways.
Well, they're using sports equipment. There's like genital shit. It's basically the Taiwanese like Duke lacrosse team. They're in uniform. They're wearing the blue. They're beaten with. Yeah, that scene's fucked.
What I would love to be a fly in the wall in the writer's room. Like when this was being written, was it one guy or was it a bunch of guys and they just had sticky notes all over the wall, like kills, like how to kill
I
people?
think it'd be fun. I think that this movie
and then just connecting them.
It's very brutal, but it never crosses over. And did anyone laugh at the kills? Like I didn't, but did anyone?
Yeah.
I was too busy jerking off.
I did not
I never laughed.
So Raph, you were the one that laughed at the kills.
I was thinking there wasn't enough rape. That
you win.
That scene in the hospital, they're having an orgy with the guts and stuff.
That was cool. Blood orgy.
That reminded me of a Faces of Death thing of death that they showed it on that, and it was pretty crazy. No, bro, this wasn't funny. I was fucking at the edge of my seat. I was like, when is the sad part gonna come?
Where is the sadness?
The sadness was the friends we lost along the way.
Bro, that fat girl had just made friends and then she ate them. Fuck.
The funniest thing about that orgy is it showed more than any Asian porn ever will. There's no blurred.
I was surprised there's no tentacles involved, to be honest. That was the part that weirded me out.
Well, The eye fucking scene bothers me because what he says afterwards, that he did it long enough that she was begging him for more, and knowing what happens with the disease, that's
She
probably
turned.
fucking
Yeah.
true. And that bothered me even more than actually seeing it.
Oof.
So
agree.
it's sometimes there's some scenes too. I don't know in the version I sent out. I don't know if there's a different one. Like when the big girl kills the nerdy guy, she's like, this is my kiss and stuff like that. But they didn't show it, the entrails coming out or anything. I don't know if there's a different version that's out there that shows it.
Do you want it?
Yes, I wanted to
Oh.
see it. Even dude, like, come on.
But if a shark were to show up, it would
Fuck
freak you
that, I'd be out. You don't even know, dude. I don't mess with sharks. That shit's outrageous.
I just imagine being that villain, the umbrella guy, and having to read those lines. You know,
I
what
was
I mean?
thinking that
Like, he
too.
had the most brutal. That had to feel like Leonardo DiCaprio in Django. You know, when Tarantino just gives you a script with a bunch of n-bombs. You're like, how many times did that guy say "filthy cunt"?
Dude,
And
it
then
makes. Go ahead,
Go
Raf.
on. Well, I was gonna say it was all ad lib. That guy didn't have any lines.
Pure improv. He's a genius. Yeah.
Rough, you
No,
win
I had
again.
the same thought, Joey. Like when that actor too. Like is he ever gonna be able to work like a
Yeah.
family film again?
Oh.
Like it's like he's
He does
like
have a
crossing
Mr.
lines.
Rogers type look too. You know,
does,
he has
yeah.
a very.
Also, you take away him being the psychopath. Just his scene on the subway talking to her. That
he's
alone
cursed, yeah.
is going to be hard for him to get booked again.
Well,
because it was
I
so
think
real.
that's why he likes it so much, and that's why the chase is fun for him, because he said, "I've seen you on the bus, and I built up the courage to say hello," and then he says, "You're beautiful." So he had this depraved sense in him, and he says that later, "I'm violent and depraved." I think he embraced it whenever the transformation happened, because he looks at his hands, and he kind of looks up like, "I've been waiting to be free, and I'm finally there." And the boyfriend kind of says that too in a different way, where he says, "I finally have purpose." And like, it's that sense of
cut off
like
your tits.
getting rid of all those inhibitions and fuck the rules. I'm going to do what I want. I think the old man loved it. And I think that's why he's such a wonderful villain. He's
The doctor talks about it when he says they cry because they know they're doing wrong, but the urge is so strong. So
Yeah,
you see the guy in the subway
He-
with the glasses, he starts tearing up, and then he's
It's
like,
really
shank,
cool.
shank, shank.
Well, the doctor says all of this, and the doctor still sneaks a fucking peek, and he's not even affected when she's changing. It's
Yeah,
the
he's
whole
just a
thing
creep.
rightfully, so
Human.
is like an attack on incels. You know, you have
Yes.
little hentai,
Yeah.
the hentai guy
Well,
who it's like, first off, not even by look, that guy's on the spectrum because one, he watches hentai, and two, because he said he
I didn't
memorizes
say it.
phone. He
I didn't
memorizes
say it.
phone
Where's
numbers.
Javi when you need him, dude?
The guy memorizes phone numbers. Like, the whole thing was definitely, like, rightfully so, an attack on, like, the incel conspiracy theorist type, the type of people that we know are like sitting there tuning into the Alex Jones, you know what I mean? Shit.
Well, it's kind of
I
true,
just-
because he goes up to the woman who's hurt and he goes, "Stop being a drama queen." He
Yeah.
doesn't respect women, and it's just it fits really well. All right. Do we have anything else we want to say about the movie, Raph? Do you have a list of things that you went down?
Oh, bro, I got like 2 pages.
All right, hit a couple of them.
Oh man, I don't know. Everything's just crazy. Peeling the face off. That was that was probably my favorite when she did pour the frying oil on him. Bro, just so many. I'm sorry that I have his
you have
fingers got cut off and then got ate by the guy. That's when I got into it, when the fucking guy started going crazy.
The way he said it, it just
That's
took me
when
off guard.
David came the first time.
Yeah, first time. First time.
How good would it be if he got some of his own Thai basil he was cutting there and just sprinkled it on one of the
That's what made it so funny, because he was really, the herbs were so good, and then that finger tasted delectable.
And then he says, "Don't worry about your girl. I'll take care of her," and he does, or something like that. I'll finger.
I'll finger her after he cuts his fingers off.
Oh yeah.
Which
yeah.
shows he's been looking at her and thinking some shit like this before he was
Yeah.
ever infected.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
This definitely it also had like a vibe of The Purge. It had a
100%.
Purge vibe.
Well, like you
Um,
said, was that board they put up, the little post-it notes for the death, where they going, "What movie will we reference in this kill?
Yes.
What movie will we reference in this kill?"
Yeah.
Because like I got The Shining, that was it. That's what I noticed. But then you named all these other ones. Like I didn't get The Fly at all. I was like, holy
Dude,
shit.
when he threw up on his leg, it was almost the exact same angle too.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. when you started listing those, it really that connected some dots that I need to watch this movie yet again because I've clearly missed some.
Yeah,
shit.
because I'm curious to see how many more I missed, because it can't quite possibly just be those 4 or 5.
I'm so happy that it only took me one recommendation to turn Miles into a reader. This just proves my fact.
I thought you said breeder for a second.
Yeah. Dude,
Maybe I did.
honestly, you had roasted me on like Twitter or somewhere. I don't remember, but something about like, hey, maybe you could just like appreciate like the actual, I don't know, it was like the magnitude or like the gravity of the acting in this. And I will say that
Yeah, you could watch it without the subtitles.
I think I could have watched this without the subtitles, and I think you could have still enjoyed it. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's an exception to every rule, and I'm honestly surprised how much I like this movie, considering I have to read the fucking thing.
Well,
fair.
They say reading makes you a better writer. I can't wait to see Miles' next set where he's saying "filthy slut" and "I will cut your dumb tits off."
Hey, all you cunts better be laughing at these next jokes.
Or I'll rape you. Yeah. Well, what else you got, Raph?
Oh, my bad. So I didn't like the scene where the boyfriend gets infected because he's looking at a mannequin's head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a tongue starts flicking and that blood falls on his eye.
Yeah, it was to show that he was losing his mind and that the depravity was taking over.
So that reminded me of that movie where the crow the guy looks up and the crow drops of blood on his eye.
28 days later. Or 28 days.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Hey, so when did he get infected? How did he get infected?
With the tongue. The guy was flicking the tongue in the water, and he got into his eye.
No, that was a mannequin. That was fake.
No, but that's what
I thought that was one of Jessup's art displays, if I'm being honest.
Look, you got to go back and look at that scene. There's a head closer to him that's flicking the tongue, and it flicks onto his eye while he's on the phone.
I think that he got.
okay.
I think he got possessed whenever his fingers got caught up. Like I think that if a gash in your skin happens, the virus can mutate.
He was just able to fight it off for a while, but it eventually turned him, type of thing.
Yeah,
yeah, because a bunch of people turned at different times, like the timing of that whole. And you know what? I will say,
just like COVID. It's just like COVID.
I thought the mannequin thing was silly. We've all walked by a Victoria's Secrets when we were young. I've been turned on by a few mannequins before. I don't think I had some sort of crazy virus.
Were they tongue flicking at you?
Yeah. I was like, look, I've been
That's what bothered me. I was like, is that how he got infected?
No, that's not how he got infected. He got infected.
No, that's how you knew.
He got infected through his fingers getting cut off, 100%. Oh my God, he's pointing at the mannequin. Is it tongue flicking? Is that a dildo? What is that to the right? It looks like a
nothing.
Okay.
It does. It looks like the Clockwork Orange.
Well, it is a dildo because
it's
a xenomorph head. So yeah, it's pretty much a dildo.
Wow.
Very nice. All right, guys, let's just go out on it. What is your favorite death scenes, and do you recommend it? So, Will, what's your favorite death scene in the movie? Do you recommend the movie?
I think there was a lot of really good ones. I think my absolute favorite, though, was the neck stabbing in the subway, just because of how extreme and crazy it went. And, yeah, of course, I already recommended it to you guys.
My bad. Miles, favorite death scene do you recommend?
Dude, the fire extinguisher, because the raw emotion that you go through, and that girl is like getting her, like, you can tell it's killing her to kill him, but like it's just got to be done. That's a whole emotional roller coaster of a scene right there. And yeah, 100%. Even if you're dyslexic or fucking can't read or just like me and hate subtitles for the most part, still a great movie.
That's awesome. Raph, do you recommend? And what's your favorite death scene?
The babies when he's choking the shit out of
Jesus.
No, who the fuck am I gonna recommend this to? My Christian friends? Bro, if you watch it, you watch it. I can't say anything about this.
You know what's so funny? I text my friend who's extreme Christian. I was like, nah, you're not joining us tonight.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, pray for us, yeah.
I was like, never. It literally made me want to go back to church. That's the way I felt while watching it. I was like, oh, shit. Jessup, how about you? Do you recommend, and what's your favorite death scene?
Yes, I recommend. And my favorite death scene is the scanners scene with the hand grenade in the mouth.
That was pretty awesome. And Joey, how about you? Do you recommend? What's your favorite death scene?
I definitely recommend. I will say I like the practical effects on the hand grenade, but honestly, to Raph's point, like seriously, the baby is the most effective death scene because there's no gore, you don't see it, but
You
you
hear
feel
it.
the
You
most
feel
out
it.
of any of the
Yeah.
deaths. You see nothing at all, and that is like that's great filmmaking right there. They didn't have to use the gore for you to. This baby's in a trash can being strangled. I mean, how
Yep.
fucking brutal. And by favorite, you know, it's not something I'm like, oh, this fucking rules. I felt the most seeing that. So.
There's
Yeah.
there's 8 babies in that trash can, and the doctor, when he's turning, he says, "I killed those babies," and it felt good.
Yeah.
You know, he was turning. It was crazy. That was really emotional.
Yeah, that was awesome. My favorite is fucking the eye slot because it just bothered me so bad. It just
That wasn't a kill, dude. She lived. She was eating people at the end.
I know, but it was my favorite part.
You're breaking your own rules, bro.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's my favorite part of the movie. It's what sticks out to me the most. That just bothered me endlessly, and just the look in his face. So let's watch it with the clips.
It's the first one.
It is. It's just watching.
It's just on repeat. It's 17 of the same. He's got it reversed and slow-mo and
Slow
fast-mo.
mo zoomed
Yeah.
in.
All right, just so everyone knows, I have to read out loud what is on the screen, so it's not going to be good acting.
That
What's wrong?
old.
This is just a cold. Go ahead, Raph.
I'm sorry, man. That old man could act in porn after this movie. That's
It's
My
so
bad.
disturbing. You should go to the hospital. Hospital now. I'm done with waiting in hospitals.
I think the creepiest scene with the old man is the hospital scene when he first shows up, and like it's I think it's either like a cop or a paramedic or somebody's in the way, and you see her reaction, and then as he slowly starts to step out of the way, you just see him standing there. That's a good reveal.
Right at the window. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. And you know, it's oh well, there it is. It's over.
Besides, doctors always say the same thing. Stay home, get some rest. That's not a hard thing to say. I could probably be a doctor. Prelude.
Duck, are you,
Are you
supposed to
sharing
share
the
the
clips?
screen
Yeah,
right
I'm not
now? Because
seeing
I'm
it.
not seeing.
Yeah.
Oh,
We just hear you randomly saying lines.
Right
on the
over
movie.
here.
Why
I
didn't
have to
somebody tell
read
me?
You're doing a compelling job. Of
Recording
delivering these
stopped.
scenes, though. We don't really need
Uh-oh.
the images.
This would be
Recording
a
in
lot better if
progress.
Miles had to read it.
All right. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Restarting it. Boom. Just the cold. Not gonna read it though. Just let it be. Let it be. So this actor is actually a very famous actor in Taiwan. He does a lot of TV commercials, and yeah, it's
That
kinda
makes you famous. TV commercials.
It's kind of that
Taiwan,
shocking
it
thing,
does.
and that it's a shocking thing. Like if you saw Mr. Rogers all of a sudden being in a film like this, it's a little bit unnerving. The best use of that is Guillermo del Toro in Pan's Labyrinth, which we should watch. Miles, it's awesome. The actor who's the bad guy is a famous comedian in Spain, and so
I've always
it's-
wanted to watch that, but I've never been able to get through the opening because I'm
Bro.
like, I'm bored of reading.
You are so missing out, man. You're missing out.
Oh.
Prelude. Everyone does this, right? Where they look at the. That's why traffic goes so slow.
That's why traffic gets so bad. Yeah.
It pisses me
That's a
off.
baby. It's a
no,
baby.
just real quick. I need to hit pause for a second.
I go back.
I read something interesting that was really fascinating, or about this. The reason why, as humans, we slow down at traffic accidents is because it goes back in the day when we were caveman days. We are still in the mode of looking out for danger. And so, like when you're driving down the road and you see a beautiful sunset, no one's slowing down to watch the pretty sunset. But when you see an accident, you instinctively will slow down. Because like when you go out of the cave, when you're a caveman, what were you doing? You're like, where the fuck is that saber-toothed tiger at? Where is the other guy trying to kill me? We're still in always looking for danger mode. So that's why we do that shit.
Interesting.
The rubbernecking, right?
Yep, rubbernecking.
It begins. Oh yeah! Right in the fucking face.
Ooh.
It just starts so quickly too. That's the fun part. It's like everything just goes to hell.
I don't think I can show this on Twitch. I don't know.
Where are we
There's your
showing it?
gluttony right there, though. The French fries. Right?
Oh,
There you go.
Oh, fuck. And then he doesn't die from that either.
Cartoon Prophecy, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Did you guys see this cartoon in the background?
I
Yeah.
loved
That
it, man. That was so cool.
So this is an actual animation the director did about 5 years previously.
Well, and their eyes are, if you notice, are
Yeah, they're all dark.
black too, like the
Yeah.
contact.
Well,
What's really
what I
weird-
loved about this
Look at
was
that in the
that
background.
obviously
The wolf
Obviously
is fucking them.
Oh yeah, obviously somebody is already crazy in the TV networks because they did that, and then the guy over the speaker. This is probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie because it really gives you that sense of, oh fuck, we are screwed.
Yeah. So he's doing that. I'll cut off your dicks and feed them to stray dogs. That's insane. And for the ladies, you know what this reminded me of? That Adam Sandler skit where he's the principal.
Huh. I didn't see Adam Sandler in any of this movie.
Bro.
Mostly because this movie was enjoyable.
Oh.
That's a shot. That's a shot.
Dude, the new basketball movie he's in is way better than it has any right to be. Hustle or whatever it is on Netflix. I recommend that one too. We're on the.
What was your favorite kill in that one?
Just the tip. Oh, there they go. There you go, Raph.
And then he's like, damn, this is good. He just ate a finger.
He spits it out. Don't worry about your girl. I'll finger her for you.
Yes, we'll do it. Yes, we'll do it.
Subway Massacre.
I love that they just do the black eyes as the makeup, because that's fucking scary as fuck.
So brutal.
Let's do your black contact idea.
That's foreshadowing right there.
Wouldn't the best way to survive just like buy a bunch of black contacts and just start fucking people? And then...
I mean, Joey, I understand your point in that, but if you've read the novelization, the infected can smell the other infected.
He did. Okay.
And the graphic novelization gets into it even deeper. Yeah.
Well, the graphic novelization actually has a scratch and snips page.
Yep.
Where you,
And then they made the novel or the kids' coloring book.
I mean, me and Will are real fans. You obviously are a poser.
Yeah, clearly.
So we understand. We never expected you to know that. So.
That's fine.
So but this is based on a comic book called Crossing. So that is kind of true. Oh, it's about to go down. That's the part when I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Is he stabbing him again?
You know what's happening.
You know,
fucking him in the
it is
ass.
happening.
And then why is she trying to have that? Just let her go.
So right here, I think he realizes that he's finally free and he can do the things he wanted to do. It's like a transformation almost.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Demented. The nose goes. Motherfucker.
Very Mike Tyson-like behavior.
So if the guy's bigger than you, just eat his fucking face. You'll always win.
Oh god. A little S&M.
That's street rules.
I have an idea.
I bet you do.
Let's do
They're
another
so
round of
creative.
Nutcracker.
They are. Again, the writing room must have been so much fun.
And it's like you said a bunch of guys. You know this is just a bunch of dudes
Oh
hanging
yes,
out
a
in that
bunch of
writing room.
incels hanging out.
Right
The way
here.
they flipped this particular scene. Oh yeah, you're showing it.
It
Yeah.
was awesome, dude. It was
Like that was the last thing I would have expected.
Yeah,
That
you
was
thought this was like
fantastic.
somebody he was helping, and then it just
No,
all
yeah.
goes awry.
Why'd you stop them?
Oh,
I was about to shoot my
come.
load.
Man.
That's so messed up.
Drama queen.
I'm not here to kink shame, dude. He can do his
Being
thing.
such a drama queen. Scanners, kaboom, here we go. Do this.
Practical effects rule, dude.
The neck flap on that is very
I
gratifying.
know,
Let's do it
dude.
again.
So good.
Let us do it again, just because it's so fucking awesome. Here we
Also,
go.
the score again to David's point.
Mhm.
That felt like the Purge right there with that patriotic
very
score.
And then the
Yep.
immediate red screen of like the government warning. Yeah.
Just wrong. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. I'm going to have a lot of fun with you.
I think it's just worse with your narration.
Literally called skull fucking.
You notice how he neatly folded the jacket, put it up, and then when you see him
Yeah.
later, he's back in the jacket.
That's his jacket. He doesn't want to mess
And
it
Man
up.
of class.
If you notice, that's very, very realistic because he's not thrusting a lot because he's got a very small penis, and so that's actually.
He was doing it his
And
his
incel
pinky
size,
was up.
yeah.
Yeah. and
Dude,
so-
honestly, there's like even the way he takes his suspenders off though is just extra creepy. Like
Yeah.
just like it's like this weird motion he does with his thumbs, and like the whole time you're just, oh, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah, like that one you porn, and you're just holding your dick. I mean,
Rap, what do you think Fat Girl got away, huh? Her eyeball fluid is drying on my dick right now. How about that? Oh my god, I didn't even like reading it.
What a line, dude.
I like you said my name before you read it.
Yeah, I know.
I said what?
I was thinking, it's like, why did he say his name right before he started saying
Hobby's
this?
saving that for later.
By the time I finished, she was begging me to keep going, which is it bothers me. Fire safety.
I do like too that like he takes this swing after in a second she like is able to dodge from his blinding, but he like thrusts at her.
Brutal. You're just like me. Violent. And depraved.
So is he like just trying to like make himself feel better in this moment because he knows he's dying, or is he just still trying to fuck with her?
I think he's just trying to fuck with her. And he's not lying, because the way she kills him.
I don't think this is depraved. I think it's violent, but I don't think it's depraved.
Monologuing.
Do you think that's overkill though?
No. I said keep going, dude. Fuck that guy.
Dude, that's the classic like reason that Jason always comes back and Michael always comes back. You kill that motherfucker, and then you kill him again, and then you put 2 more bullets in the head as you're walking away, because otherwise there's going to be a sequel.
Yep.
I just thought she was going to get it. The first time I saw it, I thought like, oh, this is how she gets infected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the question at the end is, does she get infected or not? You know.
No.
Because
he shot her in the neck.
I don't
think she does.
I think she just gets wrongfully killed by the government.
That's exactly what I think happens.
I think they
Shut
kill off
up!
everyone.
Shut up! That's not what happened.
She's immune.
David needs to get some rest tonight. All right, she made it happily ever after.
She walked out and she was handed a bouquet and got on the. All right. For a full year, I tried to tell people the virus would mutate, but no one trusts doctors anymore. Everything must be politicized. There can no longer be truth. Politicians are the worst. The area of the government's sexual drive. The area of the brain aren't terribly dissimilar. Those infected men who went after you in the hallway. They likely understand that the things they are doing are vile and repugnant. I just love his acting. But the desire to do strong for them is too strong for them to resist. Asking them not to indulge in those vile things is like asking you not to blink. It's hard not to blink, right?
Yeah, I couldn't figure out if he was turning, if he was just.
He was crazy.
Kind of crazy.
I don't know how. Yeah, it's hard to tell.
I think he's gone insane inside that room.
Point. Yeah.
Probably
I killed
after
8 babies. I mean, the man has lost it.
He was making the most logical decision possible. Why are you mad about it? That's why it's like, is
trying
he
to make antibodies.
Maybe did he just go into? I think he just went into pure science survival mode more than anything.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't like he was actually losing his mind. He is like, society's fucked. What's the scientific method?
I think he was.
They
just
wanted to
trying
go
get
ultra
out of
overkill whenever he injects the babies with the virus. We just need a scene of like 8 babies just gang raping him.
Oh god.
That's what.
No.
But that's just
made
me.
it better.
That's just what I would have added at the writing room.
You know, I think he's just lost his mind kind of, but he's trying to get out of there the best he can, and the best he can is to do what he's doing and get a hold of the government and say, I got a cure. And evidently it was working, you know. And that's proof that when he said, without me, you're not going to get out. Because David, she definitely got shot. I apologize. Who knows? Maybe
I don't know if you guys read my fan fiction novel about this. It's a sequel. It's where she makes it out, and she actually finds an older guy, and because she's had issues with younger guys, she starts dating the older guy.
But she didn't have issues with an older guy with an umbrella? No problem.
Yeah, exactly. And then the older guy actually doesn't make as much money as her, but she's like, that's okay. And then she lets him pursue his career in comedy. And so, yeah, it's really, you guys should read it. I have it.
It sounds a lot scarier than what we. That's the true sadness.
I don't want to see the sadness too.
I have it up on my Twitch if you guys
It's
want to
on
check
Reddit.
it out. Yeah, it's a flip book.
Who knows? Maybe they feel guilty for what they're doing. Maybe that's why they cry. It makes you do the most horrific things you can imagine.
I thought that was weird, honestly. Just great. His weird like expression on that. Because he's otherwise very
losing his mind.
Yeah.
That's a good point, yeah.
For them to be satisfied, their victims must suffer. You can't rape the willing, right?
We've never tried. How do you know?
That's what he says.
That is weird because that is my lower back.
Isn't that an old? I was gonna say, isn't that an old joke? Because my dad used to say that.
Yeah, Can't Rape the Willing was around when I was a
I don't-
kid, man.
I
was like,
don't think it's a joke, Duck, as much as it's like a really creepy pro-rape statement.
Yeah, you
Right.
got me too.
Yeah. Hey, you guys ever hear that joke? How does it go? Oh, you can't rape the willing? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. That's the whole joke.
That's
I
the
don't
whole
think that's a
punchline.
joke.
She
I think
actually,
that-
for your sequel, she gave her husband that note for his open mic set. That's-
hang on 1 second. I'm posting it now.
Let me, I gotta write that.
That's
May-
2 steps away from Boys Will Be Boys.
May I ask you something? Where's the axe? Slam!
The big
That looks
shining
painful,
blue,
dude.
too.
Oh yeah.
Is this getting your pussy wet? Oh, I should have used that as an intro. Oh, the fly? Is that what you're talking about?
Fly.
Yeah, right there.
Also,
That's
kind of like
it.
The Shining, right? Like the sneak up axe attack on the person that could save her
Yeah.
when the black
Yeah.
dude gets fucked up.
Jim to the rescue.
After he drove from Florida all the way to that fucking house.
I made it. I promise I'd make it here.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Might be my favorite shot. It's how dark and crazy
Oh.
this looks.
The dialogue is perfect.
Yeah,
Is
he's so
that your new
like just
boyfriend?
wet.
It captivates the sadness.
There was one scene in here that I wanted to freeze and like take a
I killed those
screenshot and print it.
babies,
Not
and it
that. What
felt
the
good.
fuck?
So good. Right here it is.
Oh,
Guaranteed. Let me see if I can get it. Oh, look at that blood. Oh, I didn't get it. All right, the sadness, the end. How does it feel? And he says it feels amazing. I guess, I mean, there is the sense of like if you didn't have that filter to stop you, if you were depraved and you want to do terrible things, it probably would feel awesome. But what if you're like actually a good person? Does the sadness do nothing to you?
Nobody's really good deep down.
Nobody's good.
That's the point.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, smash your face. It's just that right there. Cat, look at me. Like he wants her to fucking know.
And the callback to the I want you to know I really love you, or I mean I really love you. It's the same thing that she had said to him on the phone earlier.
nice.
Yep.
Full circle, bro.
How great would it be? He's just like, I fucking hate camping.
I wasn't really working. I just didn't
Roll
want
the
to fucking
credits.
sleep in the
He's
tent.
just faking this whole thing to get out of the trip.
Just to get out of camping.
Whoa, you can see
It
it.
turns out he created the virus. He did.
Watch her eyes. Do they turn black? It looked like they did.
It's
Nah.
just dark.
I didn't get
Yeah.
that impression. No.
I
Oh,
didn't
shit.
get that either.
I'm so curious if she turned or not because of that.
She
right there.
didn't. Because
Oh.
he injected her and then she had splatter.
Here,
She
David,
was
listen
fine.
closely.
Turn that shit up. She's safe.
It takes off that.
Yep. And you could hear her scream too.
Oh no, she tripped.
What?
That's another thing.
Mm.
That shot right there is another wallpaper moment. Like,
Yeah,
If you hate
yeah.
yourself, you put that as your desktop wallpaper.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, look, it's Professor X.
Yeah.
What a good poster.
Dude, the way it cuts into the music, again, going back to Justice's earlier point, that's it's like a really hard, like heavy, almost metal style of music that hits
Yeah.
on the
Oh, the
top
song
of
at
that
the end
bass.
rules, dude.
It's really good.
Really good. You know, guys. Now that I'm a professional editor, I really break down. I'm just kidding.
That's awesome. All right, recommendations. First one we're going to recommend is, if I can remember, Evil Dead. Or Dead Alive, sorry. I love Dead Alive. We've watched it
Dead
before.
Alive's
We've
great.
talked about it. I fucking love it. It is gory as this. It's as fun as this. What a good time. Peter Jackson's
Yeah,
third
this
movie.
this is fun gore. The sadness is
Real.
I need to go into therapy gore.
Yeah, 100%. So watch Dead Alive. It'll be a good time. Evil Dead also. That's a cool recommendation. My second one will be Old Boy, the Korean version. Love
You know,
this
I've never
fucking
seen
movie.
this. I've
Oh
never-
my
You wanna
God.
talk about
That's great.
fucked up.
It's on the list, dude. We're gonna get to it eventually. It's just beautifully filmed, beautifully acted. I love the director. It's a great movie. If you've seen the American version, it's shit. The
Ish,
Korean version is where you go. It is awesome. The hammer scene, you'll never forget. And the twist ending, if you haven't seen it, ooh, no
So fucked.
good. Joey knows. Guys, you got any recommendations?
The Crazies.
The Crazies, more insane. Is it bloody and gory like this?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, nothing's like this. Nothing's like this, but it's gory. It's really good. It's a really fast movie too. I love The Crazies. The remake, not the 70s George Romero version.
Okay.
I think I'm about done.
I have two.
All right. Go for
I
it.
have two. These are foreign films that Miles might actually watch, and there's reasons for it. So,
Okay.
Wreck. I don't know if anyone's ever seen it. There's a
I have
Spanish language
I
movie.
have
Ralph?
seen that, and
Because
I
there's
really
also
like
an
it.
English version
Wreck-It Ralph.
with the Wreck-It Ralph 2. Ralph Takes the Internet, I think is called.
That was so much fun, guys.
And then it's a simple movie. It's nice and bloody. It's pretty scary. And the other one is called Sorgoy Prakov, or it's Descent into Darkness. It's about this blogger who goes to Paris, and he wants to make these like documentary on his trip, and he has all these cameras attached to him, and it's like part English, there's French in it, like it kind of bounces, so there's little subtitles, but it's just this guy who has this great idea and he really wants to do it, and everything starts to go wrong, and it's just his slow descent literally into madness. And it is like this movie. When I watched that movie for like 3 weeks, I was uncomfortable going to bed at night, and that has not happened to me in a long time. But it just feels so real, and it's so well acted, and the way it turns when it turns is fantastic. I will send you all the link because I highly recommend it.
Wait, is it French? What is it?
It is part French, it's part English. It's called Descent into Darkness.
Nice.
I'll send y'all links,
Wow.
but like the real name is called Sorgoy Prakov or something. which
Boy,
I think
that
character
is
name.
so just rolls off the tongue, man. Yeah. I could see where people would be like, "Hey, man, have you seen Sojoy Pakov?
Yeah.
Oh, it's real good."
This guy will get into your head. This freaking actor is fantastic. Like, just you can watch it and you can see it happen.
In 3 weeks, man. I'm worried about tonight going to bed. Just, ugh.
Dude, I mean, it wasn't like every night, but some nights, like, it would pop into my head, and I'd be like, "God damn, did I lock all the doors? Like, let me go make sure I locked all the doors." And that, to me, that's a movie. Like,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah,
horror movie.
it sticks with you.
100%. Joey,
So
what
those
do
are
you
my
have?
two.
What's up?
You
Rex?
said you had two?
If you have a Shutter account, I recommend The Void.
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude.
The Void fucking rules. A cult kind of traps this police officer and some people in a hospital.
Very
Demonic
thingy,
monsters,
very
aliens
John
come into
Carpenter.
Yeah, cult shit always fucking terrifies me after like Eyes Wide Shut type shit. But yeah, like to the John Carpenter point, like the monster design, it's very much like The Thing. Also, if you enjoy, I don't know, the Jason Saw, like The Collector and The Collection, those are some of my favorite. The Collector has more of kind of that Jason, Mike Myers, Saw feel, and then Collection kind of almost has like some 80s style action in it too. But they were made in like the 2000s. But those are probably my three.
Yeah, those are great.
Dude, The Collector and The Collection were my two recommendations as well. So I doubled down on
Nice.
that.
Very nice.
They rule. They're
Raph,
great.
do you got a recommendation?
Bro, just the 28 Days Later, that zombie movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope. And the other ones afterwards are all right. But
Right
the first
on.
one was the best one.
Right on. Well, guys, that was The Sadness. Those are our recommendations. Raph, where can they find you on the internet?
RFLSON on YouTube.
Right on. Miles, how about you? Where can they find you?
I'm Mr. Most Days Off pretty much everywhere, and you can check out my Simpsons podcast at Best Darn Diddley.
Right on. David, how about you? Where can they find you?
Hey, y'all, come out to Mesquite this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I'll be showing my creepy art at the Haunters Convention. It's
Oh,
the
shit.
Southwest largest Halloween convention. Come on out. I'll be there Saturday and Sunday, y'all. And then Friday, I will be at Hyenas in the Red Room with Jimmy Nelson and Lawrence Rosales. I don't know
That
why I'm
poster's
talking
sick.
like this. Dude, who did that? Was that, did
That
Lawrence do
poster
that
is
poster?
great, dude.
Love Lawrence.
Dude, that's so good, man. I'm like, I'm gonna print it off. Like I'm gonna get printed off and frame it. That's
Framed,
fucking
yep.
awesome. Yeah.
Very nice. How about you, Joe? Where can they find you on the internet or shows?
I have a bunch of shows coming up, but I post them all on Instagram. It's at Joey Quits Comedy. Also, I do a podcast also at Hyenas in Fort Worth, and that's Basement Manifesto. So follow those, and you'll be.
You'll be at
able to
Hyenas
find
this weekend.
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm bad with scheduling. It's all on my phone. But Dave, if you follow Joey Quits Comedy.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't know. Maybe.
How about you, Will? Where can they find you?
You can find me on all the things at Poo Eater, and you can listen to my podcast, The Villain of the Sadness Had Some Good Ideas, coming out next week.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That is awesome. Hell yeah. Everyone's got a podcast. And you can check us out at wearepodcast.podbean.com. We can find all the podcasts. You can check those out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at /wearepodcast. And, of course, you can find us every Monday for Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past, live on Twitch at 8 p.m. Central. Next week's movie is, I don't know, because we haven't done the schedule. So we will find out what it is. And this week I will post it. I promise. I apologize. With that said, thank you guys so much for being here. Keep horror in your heart. Always keep horror in your heart. And with that said, thank you again for listening. Cut the feed.
Rock!
Cut the feed, motherfucker.